Space Crew is the highly anticipated sequel to Runner Duck's 2017 hit Bomber Crew. With inspirations from some of your favorite intergalactic TV series, Space Crew remains a charming and challenging adventure, giving me the opportunity to manage the chaos of space conflict in a way I've never experienced before. Welcome to Rugged Pro Gaming, where I display a real-time interactive representation of my review score, which will increase or decrease in tandem with my verbal pros and cons. As always, we will begin with a perfect 10 and adjust accordingly throughout the review. If you enjoyed this video in my real-time review style, don't forget to subscribe and join the Rugged Pro Gaming family. But enough explaining, let's get right into it. The year is 2159 and the Earth is threatened by the invasion of a mysterious alien life form known as phasmids, intent on spreading their spores on Earth for repopulation. It's up to you and your crew of specialists to take on missions to stop the alien invasion. And that's pretty much where the story ends. You're not going to be met with any cutscenes or chunks of interesting dialogue. The bulk of the story is told through communications between you and the commander at the main base during the campaign missions. While the story is nowhere near robust, the main campaign missions do push the game forward in numerous ways. Completing these missions opens up a new part of the galaxy as you continue your search for the alien homeworld. It also introduces you to new enemy types and some big scale battles that can't be found elsewhere. More emphasis on the story would have been appreciated, but the lore of the game revolves around its gameplay and the evolving crew members that join you on your crusade, and with this the game hits its stride. If you're a fan of Firefly, Battlestar Galactica, or Star Trek, you'll be right at home with Space Crew. The similarities that the game has to those iconic TV series isn't by coincidence. Runner Duck created an experience that could fit in any of those universes, resembling Star Trek above all. There's numerous nods to Star Trek in relation to certain clothing options, gear, and even facial hair. I couldn't resist creating some of my favorite characters from the series to be a part of my crew. Your team of specialists are all a part of the well-oiled or not so well-oiled machine that you control. The crew individually reacts to the commands you give them, leading to great success or great failure depending on your approach. Everyone wants to be a great leader like Captain Picard, but the application of that greatness is far more difficult than what it seems. You have a crew of 6 individuals and every crew member brings something extremely valuable to the table. Your captain drives the ship and controls its evasiveness. Your comm officer helps you navigate the galaxy while also tagging enemies for your 2 gunners. The gunners are the offensive support for your ship and have access to weapon boosts to take out enemy ships more effectively. Your engineer controls the power output of the ship, delegating extra energy to the engine, weapon, or shields. And lastly, your security officer controls the ship's shields and lends much needed defense in tight situations. There's a lot to juggle at its core, but things really begin to shake up as the game progresses. You'll have radiation leaks, generators to repair, aliens boarding your ship, fires to put out, and more, all the while being fired on from every direction. This is where the game tests your resolve the most. How you react during these intense situations bridges the gap between living to fight another day or permadeath. Not only can your crew members die off, but your ship can also be permanently destroyed as well. The fear of defeat is intensified largely due to the progression that the game presents. If you lose a crew member, all of their experience goes to the grave as well. Alternatively, losing your ship causes you to buy parts for your new ship all over again. The game has a simple but effective leveling/upgrading system. Each crew member can gain 12 levels maximum. Throughout those levels, the crew begins to learn new skills. Each class has certain skills that they'll learn throughout their progress to the level 12 cap. You'll be able to eventually call in support from other fighter ships or go into stealth mode, just to name a few. These unlocked skills are extremely effective, and you'll also be able to teach each character's secondary classes, maximizing their skill potential. It goes without saying that it's devastating losing a valued member of your crew who is replaced only by a measly recruit. It's unfortunate, however, that the game requires a meaty grind in the early going of the campaign. The main missions are nearly impossible to complete unless you replay the same side quests multiple times for more XP. The side missions and the main missions largely play out the same, but you can't advance to new areas and face new enemies without progressing the campaign. That being said, the first half of my playthrough remained grinding within the game's first area. This made the early gameplay feel a bit transactional and taxing. The challenge of operating your ship intelligently for success is consistently enjoyable for the most part, however. But even when new quadrants are opened up, the game follows the same mission structure. Essentially, you're doing the same missions with just different scenery and enemies. The thrill of leveling up crew members keeps your energy high throughout the repetition, yet the low level cap kills off the thrill too quickly. Once you reach your level cap, the XP you gain is useless, leaving only your ship to upgrade. But once you complete the main campaign, you can't continue upgrading your ship because the game forces you to start with a new one. In those regards, the campaign isn't very friendly for players that want to continue after the main campaign is complete, making the replay value relatively low. Take one look at Space Crew and you'll likely think it was Minecraft with a Star Trek mod, but that would be selling the game short. While it does have a pixelated exterior, there are nice touches of motion blur and fine lighting that separate the two games. Keep in mind, the review key I received was for the Nintendo Switch, and while the execution of its presentation is nice on the eyes, the console version takes a noticeable step further in terms of eye candy. Again, that's not to say that the Switch version isn't appealing. In fact, it's very well done and presented much better than what I originally expected. Flying through asteroid fields and viewing huge distant planets was pleasant, and admiring my starship never got old. The camera controls allow you to zoom in and appreciate the beauty of your handcrafted ship, while the bumps and bruises will remind you of all of your near-death experiences. The art style is also a perfect fit in that it matches the tone of the game. While the game is challenging, it's also very whimsical and fun. When docked at the main base, the characters joyfully run to their stations for training or gear changes, as if permadeath wasn't right around the corner. They laugh and have a good meal even when the 4th Captain Picard assigned to your ship just died a most violent death. Some of them will even report to battle with a Hawaiian print shirt because Space Crew is all about having a good time, and the art style reflects that. It does, however, hit a rough patch with the lack of voice acting. Instead of a proper cast of voice actors, the game instead voices characters with annoying gibberish. You know how with cartoons when someone answers the phone there's like some freaking high-pitched nonsense on the other end? Well, whoever was on the other line is who did the voice work here.
What? Could you say that again? Slow down, it's like you're speaking some other language.
It's a shame because a few nice voice actors could have really made my connection with my crew even stronger, especially since your crewmates shout out valuable information during missions. With everything going on at once, it's easy to miss the small subtitles that the game provides. In terms of presentation, the game doesn't take itself too seriously, which is a plus. There's a lot of fun to be had due to the easygoing approach to the art style, but the voice work is a victim in the process. Space Crew is a project that shows great admiration for some of TV's most iconic adventures. It bodes a sense of nostalgia as if it's been a part of me before it ever existed. It's a charming time capsule to the future and to the past. Although frustrating at times, the challenges it presents remains rewarding to overcome for anyone willing to engage. If you've reached this far, I want to thank you, and if you've enjoyed this video, also subscribe, share, like, comment, and all that other jizz that helps us content creators grow. Until next time, friends, this is Rugged Mike of Rugged Pro Gaming, signing off.